can we talk about these energies? Holy cow, they are exceptionally intense. And when I was working with my team today, I said, what is going on? With the bodies, the body pain, the extreme exhaustion, the gritty, blurry eyes, all of these things that we are going through. I'm actually shocked at the level of exhaustion. I haven't experienced this in years. And it's deep sleep, really, really deep. I'm dreaming a lot. I'm bringing a lot in that sleep mode, but there's also times where it's like nothingness. I'm not waking up for 8 to 10 hours and waking up like, okay, what world am I in? What dimension? Like, where are we? And I'm asking them like, okay, what is this? What is happening? And what they're saying is that we're really undergoing humongous cellular changes right now, all the way down to the DNA level. Now, the issue with this is that it's a lot on the body. It is a lot. And so the immune system can drop some. And when that happens, if you have any latent viruses or retroviruses, we're talking Epstein-Barr, shingles, COVID, any of these things, because COVID really did set up in the body a lot like Epstein-Barr. It's sitting in people's organs and it's just waiting. It's waiting for you to be knocked down, and then the little soldiers multiply, and then your viral load goes higher and you feel pretty sick. So as we're going through these cellular changes, our immune system's going down, and there is a potential that those little soldiers, from whether it's shingles or any of those things. I mean, shingles really works on the nervous system, which is why a lot of people are having that issue right now, because the nervous system is also being upgraded. So any of these things within your system, any types of herpes viruses, which shingles is part of, COVID, Epstein-Barr, anything like that can absolutely be triggered as our immune system dips as we're going through this process. So the best advice out there is take care of your immune system. Keep your immunity high, keep your foods pure, make sure you're taking your supplements, and maybe things that are antiviral, oregano, rosemary. Use your best discernment, but now is the time to have radical self-physical care to keep yourself really going well and healthy, and more water than you can ever imagine. And if you're finding that you're drinking water but you're still thirsty, you might need to do what I have to do, which is add a pinch of salt in it, and not a huge amount, just a little bit, to kind of make sure that it's working and that I'm actually feeling hydrated instead of just peeing it out. So that's where we're at. These energies, we had the Lionsgate close, and I would love to tell you that, oh yeah, everything calmed down. And that's not the case. And it's not going to be the case. So we're going to be continually upgrading ourselves as we go forward. And anything that is standing in the upgrade will be triggered. So we just talked about viruses and things like that. But what we haven't talked about is trauma. And wherever you're holding, I call them black holes in the form, wherever you're holding that, light can't get in. It has to be triggered so that you can see it, so that you can heal it, and you can move forward. And in each moment, we're being given that choice. Do we continue playing in the old stories, or do we move forward? And being able to start seeing things as a story, like, okay, that's a story that I was told, that's a story that I experienced, and then letting them go from that perception and bringing light into all of your areas of trauma, whether it's mental, emotional, physical. It doesn't matter what it is. Bring your light into it to heal it, to shift it, so that it too can be upgraded. Because what's going to happen, it's very much like missing data, right? So when you're uploading something to your computer or you're downloading a new program, if there is missing data, it's not going to upload or download properly. It's just not. There's missing files. And those are what the black holes in our body create. And we hold in them memories that we're unable to let go of, things we're unable to forgive, things we're unable to shift the belief system about. And so you're going to find that people right now are feeling a resurgence of emotions that are tied to traumas, insecurities, overwhelm. There's so many different things that people are going through right now. And we need to figure out how to ground it and move through it so that we don't have to do this again. So instead of that, constantly, okay, deal with this part of myself again, deal with this again, it's like, be done. And just be like, okay, yep, that is what happened. That is what it was. And I acknowledge all the feelings. I acknowledge all the emotions. And now I forgive it. I forgive myself. I forgive other people. And I let it go. And as you do that, our body is going to assimilate these cellular changes at a much higher fashion. So another thing I wanted to share with you is that a lot of us are working with our parallel lives now. And this is different than timelines. So timelines are like a little diversion off where we learn and experience something. But parallel lives are completely different realities. So now can these be on worlds? They can be on worlds very similar to this, but completely different. Completely different life circumstances. Everything is completely different. It's like playing in the versions. I mean, I'm working with one now that actually went into the Air Force, which if you know me, that's freaking hilarious. And I'm working with the information that she learned and she understood. So it's not that we're integrating these parallel lives, it's that we're accessing them, and that's the difference. There's a movie on Netflix called Sense8, SENSE and the number 8, and it's a show about 8 different people, I think it's 8 people, that all are able to tap into each other and pull the abilities from. And so in this show, it's 8 individual people. What I'm saying to you is that something similar is happening, but it's 8 versions of you. 8 versions of your soul expression living completely different lives. And so we are getting to the point to where we can go, okay, let me tap into that. Now, some of you will receive this through dreams. Some of us through like journeys, visions. You may receive information about this. But for a lot of us, it's going to come in as a knowing. You're just going to know something. And then you're going to go, how do I really know that? Where did that come from? And that information, we usually say, oh, it's, highest self. Yes, that's true. But it also may be coming in from the you that is connecting to the you and learning from it. And so that we can all move up to speed through this process. But the biggest thing is trust. Can you trust your knowing? And if you've already got that mastered, then you're ahead of the game. So it is that space of trust, trust, trust. Trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your knowing. Don't necessarily trust what you hear. You can't always trust what you see, because sometimes what you see contradicts what you feel, what your inner gut says to you. And it's not the gut that's laden with the emotion and the trauma. It's the gut that has healed most of that. And you just know. You just know. You don't need to explain it. You don't have to categorize it. You just know, and that's enough. So if you're playing in that and you're kind of going, what is this? I feel like I'm a nut job. I'm seeing me in this version. I mean, like me in the Air Force. It's kind of hilarious. And I could go, what is this? I'm waking up from all of these dreams where I'm learning. And I'm like, okay, so I feel half nuts. And, my husband's response is usually, just half? And, but I'm learning. And that's the point. Because we're not just moving into our multidimensional star aspects, because we are, but we're also moving into the parallel lives and all the ways that our soul has learned. And that's another reason we could be sleeping quite a bit. And that's also taxing on the nervous system. So there's a whole lot here. to where the most important thing that we can do is take care of ourselves. A lot of people are having dreams that they're flying or going on a boat or that kind of thing, like taking a trip, but they might be losing their luggage, or they might be late, or they might even miss it. And so it's all our subconscious way of saying, hey, you're shifting, you're moving. And maybe in order for you to make that flight, you need to leave your baggage behind, and it's going to be just fine. Or maybe you check in late. Or maybe your plane gets diverted. Also, another common dream theme that people are having is storms. They're being like completely in these huge storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, things like that. And at the end of it, they're like looking around, there's devastation, and yet here they stand. And there's a message in that. So if you're receiving those, take the message of, here you stand. In all the chaos and all the crazy, you're safe, you're here, and you're going to be all right. So I just wanted to send you a brief message to kind of talk about these energies. I wish I could say to you, hey, after this date, this is going to get easier. I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said that. It's not going to get easier. It's not going to get... Let me put it to you this way. The amount of energy coming in is not going to be less. It will get a little easier. It's like, when you start working out, right? It's first, all you can do is jog a block, and you're like, I'm done. And then you might jog a block for a week or two, and then it goes up further and further and further until the next thing you know, you're doing a 5K. You build endurance, you build resistance, and that really helps us to manage the energies. And then if you're working on those black holes that keep things from downloading properly, so they keep trying to download and download and download, then you're going to be even further ahead. So work on your stuff, see it, acknowledge it, and then let it go, because it no longer serves you anymore. I am offering a Lionsgate integration healing on the 17th. That's another 8 days. So, and this is just a basic healing of really helping people with the aura, helping people with their energy body. If you signed up for the Lionsgate healing package, you're already included in this. With the Earth's magnetic field taking the hit that it is, our aura is affected. It cracks, it gets weak, it can have holes, and that means that then we can bring energy in that we do not want in any way, shape, or form. So make sure you're taking good care of your aura as you're going through this process as well. Sometimes when I think about everything that we have to keep up with to make sure that we're functioning at full capacity, it's a full-time job. It is so much. But here we are. And we are moving forward. And there's no stopping this. It is full steam ahead. So if you're interested in the healing, there is a link below for you to join. It's just $11.11 for the 17th. And hopefully it will help you to feel greater stability and clean up that aura some, and make sure removal of energies that really are not beneficial to us at this time. So take care of yourself, and I hope you're experiencing some really great dreams during these energies, and that you are experiencing that knowing. Trust it. Trust you.